Hello, it's Ricardo and welcome back to Elite Dangerous. Seemingly out of the blue, Frontier Developments, although we did suspect something was going to happen because they had been quiet, have announced that Update 10 is coming not only to Elite Dangerous Horizon players, but also to Elite Dangerous Odyssey players. And that's going to be Elite Dangerous Horizons on PC and console, and of course, Elite Dangerous Odyssey on the PC. Let's see what's in Update 10, take a look at the patch notes, and have a chat about it. It is Tuesday, the 25th of January, 2022, or 3308 if you're in game time. Update 10 is going to be with us. They've got the servers down. They're expecting the servers to be back up around about 12 midday, although they have reserved the right to extend that a little bit longer to make sure everything's right. And who cares if everything is right? Now, we know with every update, there are going to be some fallout. There's going to be some things that are broken. And in the past, Frontier have been very good at going in there and getting hot fixes out as soon as they possibly can. So with Update 10, we know there's going to be problems. It's going to fix some, but hopefully it's going to fix more than it causes. Now, with Update 9, we saw the addition of the multi-limpet controller and the new SRV, the Scorpion. And after that, it caused a host of other problems, some of which kind of caused the game to be virtually unplayable on some of the console builds. We have seen problems as well with the ability of not having our opponents to be flagged as hostile. So all you people doing AFK builds and AFK credit mining and boosting that combat rank have had a bit of a problems. But those just scratch the surface of the problems that were caused with Update 9. It certainly seemed to break more than what it fixed. And Frontier have been very good, I think, of coming in and getting some hot fixes in place. But without more to do, let's take a look at what is coming in Update 10. So the update notes have dropped. Bruce, the senior community manager, has released the updates for Odyssey and Horizons. Let's take a look at what's in it then. So the post-Odyssey updates have reached double digits. In this round, they see a series of optimization improvements. Good, because even my machine was still running like an absolute hound. And I've put the specs of my machine at the end of this video. Only on some aspects as well, mind. Especially when you start looking at glass, looking at panels, you come away from that, and then you do get a distinct problem in regards to what's going on screen. You know, frame drops from like 59 frames per second down to like single digits sometimes. Okay, the changes will come to both Elite Dangerous Odyssey and Elite Dangerous Horizons, and we're going to cover both Odyssey and Horizons in this video. Okay, so here we go then. So with Odyssey, the optimization. The following features have received optimized improvements. Looking at through glass. Brilliant! Cockpit glass. Now, I haven't actually seen a problem with that, but there you go. Galaxy and system map functionality. Good. I've got mine set to medium, not high res for some reason, because I was already having crashes, but I've left it on medium anyway. Avatar decals. Forward lit VFX. Planet fine textures, shadows, and emissive rescaling. Whatever that might be. Must look that up. Rendering. An issue caused artifacts on the local view in the system map was fixed. It says fixed, so it must have been fixed doubly. Also with stability, an instant crash was fixed. Crashing when entering supercruise following a low wake was fixed, and a crash caused by jumping to the permit-locked HIP 54530 system was fixed. Server. Okay. On-foot actions will now update the codex as expected. On-foot ranks will now display their animation within inbox messages, and rank animations will no longer display as a tier lower than intended. And then from the issue tracker, stars will no longer flash brightly in VR. Okay, so they are still tweaking VR. The Asterope system will resume featuring signal sources. Great. Polyporous growths on brain trees can be splattered once again. An issue with teammate navlock was fixed. and deposit fragments will no longer get stuck inside asteroids. Damage values on thermal conduits have been corrected to scale with ship heat between 90 and 150 and capped at 160. In regards to AI will spawn at points of interest in multi-crew as expected. Now hang on, let's just hold the phone here, right, with multi-crew. As some as you may know, I stream on a Saturday and Sunday with Mike and Simon, and we get together and we get into heists and we do power missions and combat and all that good stuff. However, when all travelling together in a ship, we get major problems. I mean, people are left hanging out in space. They're left with just the tunnel, the hyperspace tunnel there. It doesn't work. If you're in the same system, kind of it worked. If you've got to jump to a different system, still doesn't work. When is this going to be fixed? When is it going to be fixed? Right? It's a horrible, horrible, horrible situation to be in. And it does degrade the Odyssey experience. Anyway, I digress. Omnipol corruption was addressed. Their mission givers will no longer assign illegal missions. Good, because they're the fuzz. Deceased NPCs can be scanned once again at offline settlements. Well, I haven't seen the fact that that didn't work, to be honest with you. I've been scanning people left, right and centre. Hostile ships will once again appear as such on the radar. Yes! The AFK builds in regards to hostile ships will now rework. This broke just update 9, to be perfectly honest with you. All you people who drive your Type 10s into certain, little belts of asteroids to take out those pirates with a nice hold full of gold or precious metals or anything really, with stacked up missions, can now once again be assured that you can put your auto turrets on auto and they will take out people who are shooting you. This is great, but it has ramifications throughout the entire game as well. Settlements. Terminals are no longer obstructed in Shinrata. Great. Planetary port landing pads have an added force field effect. Okay. I haven't seen this. Mining extractors no longer display flashing black squares. NPC crew members will now retaliate when in the defend state. Okay. Deceased NPCs will no longer cover the reactor console, preventing interaction. I've had that on a couple of power missions as well. With character animation, an issue when running with the cutting tools was fixed. Now, we all would have seen that. You had the cutting tool, you were running, and it was jumping towards your head. Very irritating. Good stuff, that's been fixed then. Although they do joke, our methods still advise against it. Never run with scissors, eh? Okay, ships and SRV. The SRV helm audio will no longer be replicated across crew members. Deployed vessels will retain their ship owner ID as intended. Camera angles for the livery screen on the Scorpion SRV were adjusted. A detail issued on the Azure paint job on the Asp Explorer was fixed. Gold and black paint job colours were adjusted. Hopefully not so dark and a bit more shiny. And Ember paint jobs were adjusted also. The Midnight Black paint jobs were also adjusted. So they've adjusted some of the colours, perhaps with lighting, hopefully. Interactions. Gravity will be re-enabled at Guardian site so that caskets no longer float. Great, because I'm going to do some Guardian mining on some of the streams as well this weekend. A quantum physics issue allowing multiple players collecting the same item was fixed. Quantum physics, eh? Okay, now on to factions. The pirate attack faction state will now no longer trigger when only criminal factions are present in a star system. Temporarily make weapon commodities legal in most jurisdictions and cause factions to lose influence due to criminal factions present in that star system. Criminal factions will no longer experience active security states. Interesting. And their security points will lock at 0. All right. Odyssey settlements controlled by criminal factions will now prefer to export commodities at the usual favourable price that are illegal in other jurisdictions. Their exports will return to normal if control changes to other faction types. I mean, this is all kind of talking to what you can do to exploit perhaps the background simulation as well. Odyssey settlements that were incorrectly reporting meta-alloys will no longer do so. Well, yeah, they're like rocking horse, to be perfectly honest. And incorrectly negative faction consequences when selling salvage commodities for a relative low value were fixed. The black market station service will now activate when controlling faction as an active... Blah, 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 blah. Right? I mean, do you know what? The faction side of thing, I get it. I understand. But my God, that's boring. Onto the Horizons stuff. Okay, a crash when selecting the engineering panel from a ship was fixed. A crash caused by entering the permit-locked 54530 was fixed, and we saw that up there on the Odyssey fixes, so there's a bit of cross-pollination of the fixes. Good. Deposit fragments will no longer get stuck inside asteroids, and VFX for projectiles from the remote flak launcher will no longer be too bright. Oh, that's a shame. A crash during the tutorial was fixed, and a lot of people were complaining about that tutorial crash. And damage values on thermal conduits have been corrected to scale with ship heat. And we've seen that on the Odyssey mentioned above. An issue causing the session log to be inaccessible was fixed. Now they say we hope you enjoy all these fixes and improvements listed above. As always, please let us know, blah blah blah, and we'll see you for update 11. I suspect, however, we'll be seeing them for update 10.01. Call me a pessimist. There's an awful lot of stuff that's been fixed here, and an awful lot, I think, of humdingers that have caused the game to be, in some cases, unplayable for an awful lot of commanders. In which case, then, I think, instancing crashing was fixed. Hopefully, that will relate as well to multi-crew. We'll have to try and test that out. And of course, the AFK stuff. Anything to do with stability, anything that can improve the frame rates, I think still has to continue. And they have to keep fine-tuning the game. Well, thanks very much for watching this video on what's in the patch notes. And I'd be interested to see all your comments and whether it's fixed issues that are of particular interest to you. For me, it was the AFK and obviously, performance, even on my 3080 graphics card. But I've had these problems consistently. They have got better, but sometimes they can get worse. So let's see how things go. That was the updates for Elite Dangerous Odyssey and Elite Dangerous Horizons, and was update 10, released on the 25th of January 2022. Hope you enjoyed the video. Like and subscribe if you haven't already done so, and I'll see you soon.